You can mix the perfect formula and still get an inconsistent result because great color isn't created in the bowl, it's created in the placement. If you want more predictable, elevated results, this is where it starts. Hello, my lovelies, and welcome. My name is Orla. I am a hairstylist as well as an owner of a salon. I've spent years behind the chair, traveling, training, learning, and teaching. I was an educator for years. I still do educating. And through all of that experience, I've come to believe one thing: great hair starts with understanding the principles behind it. I wanted to create this series because I know education isn't always accessible. Not everyone has the opportunity to attend every class, travel for advanced training, or take time away from work. So, this is my way of opening the doors a little wider, sharing the knowledge I've gained in a way that's approachable, clear, and designed to help you grow. My goal is to give you the tools to feel confident, intentional, and inspired in your work. Whether you're new to the industry or looking to elevate your craft, I'm glad you're here, and I hope this series becomes a valuable resource for you. Let's dive in. Before we ever touch a brush or mix a formula, the very first decision that shapes the entire result is placement. Where we choose to place color and the direction of the placement has the power to completely transform a guest look. Placement isn't just where the foils go, it's a design choice. It controls how the eye moves, how the hair falls, and how the final color is perceived. When placement is intentional, the results feel tailored, balanced, and cohesive. When placement is random, even the best formula can fall flat. What's beautiful about placement is that it allows us to customize every look. It allows us to enhance someone's best features, to bring harmony to the cut, and to create movement or softness exactly where it's needed. As we move through the series, you'll see how the direction and distribution of color can change the entire silhouette of the hair. But before we dive into the technical pieces, it's important to understand one thing: placement is the foundation of every great color. It's where intention meets artistry, and once you master it, every color you create becomes more purposeful, more predictable, and more beautiful. When we talk about placement, we're really talking about how the eye interacts with the hair. Every stroke, foil, or painted panel influences how it's distributed. And that distribution controls how the hair reads from a distance and up close. Before we even just define what horizontal, vertical, or diagonal placements mean, it's important to understand that direction changes the perception. Placement can create movement where there wasn't anywhere, build softness or structure, open up the face or contour it. This is an amazing little trick around the face, and it can blur out or accentuate the cut as well. So even small shifts in placement can completely transform the end result. This is why two formulas can look totally different depending solely on how they're applied. The magic in color doesn't start in the bowl, it starts with the intention behind the placement. Once you understand how direction influences the silhouette and the shape, you gain the ability to design hair with purpose, not just applying color. It's just one of these beautiful steps that it makes your end goals so achievable. Formula is obviously critical as well. However, this is often overlooked, where this is like the foundation of the house you're building. So, if the foundation isn't laid right, anything you do after the fact, you are going to struggle with no matter how good it is. So, no matter how good the cut is, no matter how good the formula is, if the placement isn't thoughtful and you're not getting the results you're wanting, this could be the reason why. That we understand how placement influences perception, let's look at the three core directions we use in color placement. Each direction creates a different visual effect, and choosing the right one is what allows us to tailor color to the haircut, the guest features, and the desired finish. So, horizontal lines build visual weight. So, they create like a sheet of color. So they create a sense of width and fullness, making the hair appear thicker and more solid. This direction supports a softer, more diffused result because the eye moves side to side. So, a great example of when something like this would be utilized is if you have somebody that wants to go as blonde as possible, for example, like a platinum card. Horizontal gives you the most high impact blonde because you're literally creating sheets of blonde in the hair that if you took slices, you would literally have panels of this. So that would be an example of a horizontal placement. Now, a vertical placement, so vertical lines encourage the eye to move up and down, which visually elongates the hair. So this creates movement, flow, and softness without adding bulk. Vertical placement is great for enhancing length or creating the illusion of it. So, this is absolutely incredible if you love creating like ribbons of color and they're trying to maintain quite a bit of depth, for example. Now, there are a million ways to do this, I understand that, but it's just principle based. This would be one of the easiest ways to get that look or vibe if you're looking to achieve something like that. Now, diagonal placements, diagonal lines merge the benefit of horizontal and vertical, and they can be diagonal forward or diagonal back. So, depending which way you want to draw the eye, they do create softness, direction, and movement while still offering shape and contour. You often see these around like the face frame or the hairline. And the reason for that is diagonal placements are incredibly versatile because they guide the eye in a way that feels very natural and dynamic. So each direction shapes the silhouette differently, and you can mix and match. So, understanding these differences gives you the power to design customized, intentional results for every guest. Now, I did attach a bit of a visual via AI on what a horizontal foil placement versus a vertical may look like for those that are visual learners or like to visually see the difference. So, vertical typically gives more of a ribbony effect, as I would describe it, and horizontal gives sheets of color, and then your stitch type would affect the end result with that. Now, I do love myself to mix and match. Like, I love a diagonal around the hairline and then turning into horizontal. So you kind of get that beautiful money piece, but if they pull it back, it's still soft. So once you learn and understand the principles of what you're doing and why you're doing it just becomes a lot easier going in with the game plan. Thank you so much for joining me for this lesson on placement principles. I hope this helped you see color in a more intentional, design focused way. Remember, placement is more than a technique, it's a creative decision that shapes the entire result. When you choose direction with purpose, everything else becomes more predictable, more personalized, and ultimately more beautiful. I hope this gave you clarity and confidence as you move into your next color application and foiling. Thank you for watching, and I can't wait to dive deeper with you in the next episode. Subscribe for more, and we'll see you later. Take care.